Hello, 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 and greetings, adventurers of Vera. Welcome to Tavern Talk at the Golden Feather Tavern. We are Vertec and GB, keepers of this fine establishment. The Golden Feather Tavern is open to all travelers to come and share their thoughts on the inner workings of Vera over a nice tankard of ale, mead, hot chocolate, or any other old-fashioned delicious beverage of your choice.
Water.
Water.
Or Monster.
Water's really old-fashioned. So raise up your glass, pull up a chair as we delve into tonight's discussions. Today is the 20th of August 2024 and we're on episode 29. And
There's a lot of 20s in that.
yeah, there is 20, 24, and then 29. See, it increased by 4 and then increased by 5. See, it's all mathematical.
You lost me at 20 what?
20 what? And this is a discussion about roadmaps and the FAQ and such. But so Chibi, how are you doing? And what do we have on tap today besides the obviously stated title that I just read off of Twitch?
I'm doing pretty good, and yeah, I mean, I built the titles to pretty much sum up what we're gonna talk about, but yeah, I don't know, can't really beat that.
And we have with us in the voice chat, we have 29 forever. Yes, you get it. It's what my aunt does. She's 29 plus. She gets pluses every year, like bonuses, like new game plus.
Yeah, I'm 29 plus 2. I'm only beat the game twice, so.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, Lloyd. Lloyd. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Just came off of the office hours for the Ashes.
How was that? They always host it when we can't join them for whatever reason. They're like, office hours. Like, yeah, funny thing about office hours.
This time they did it at 4 o'clock, so I was like driving home from work, just listening on Discord on my like or whatever. And then I got home and I was able to make the last topic. But yeah, it was good. Just talked about a lot about the bard, mechanics, thematics, all that good stuff. We had a lot of good discussion around that.
What was the overall?
Got a lot of feedback.
What was the overall take? Like, was it hot, cold? Did people like the bard? Are people excited?
Overall, it was a lot of people like what they saw, but office hours is always about like constructive criticism, so it always tends to be about like what could be better or like little segments of what they liked. Like there's a lot of people that said they liked the ability to have in and out gameplay with like melodies and then going in with the with the flourish and the dance and then like playing back out, and they liked that type of like playability. They liked the instruments. They were talking about like what more they'd like to do for like RP or like better skill expression with like different types of instruments and actually being able to play the instruments and things. I don't know, there was a lot. There was it's like a whole hour of just good feedback for Intrepid to look at it and think about what they would like to do more with the bard and possibly augment stuff like that.
I'm gonna make a minor correction. Are you sure that it was all good feedback? Are you sure that there wasn't some glorious feedback in there?
Oh my god.
Oh yes, glorious
feedback.
With like maybe like a couple bad takes in my opinion, but that's just me and everybody else has their own opinion. So you know, I mean everyone's gonna have
You know what they say about opinions. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
And it may not be yours.
Fair.
Well,
okay.
Boo? What are you booing?
Boo.
Dad joke. Boo.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I didn't finish the actual dad joke, so I mean I got to get some credit there. I let you finish it.
If you don't like dad jokes, I hate to tell you, but this is probably not the stream for you because Vertec is just never ending with them. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never.
Yeah.
But yeah, I let you finish the dad joke in your mind. If you finished it, that sounds like a. Wait, how's it go? This is a new one. An ish you, not an ish me.
One of the people in our guild started saying, I think it was Mandy. So like we just kind of adapted that.
Absolutely stole it, and it's fantastic.
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
Cheers.
Thank you so very much. Cheers to that.
I have a sticky stock. You didn't see it. That's fine.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
You
like the suffering so it works? Okay. Fantastic. We'll get along just fine.
I am fresh from the gym, so I myself, even though it was like 7 p.m. Eastern time, because I think you said 4 p.m. You're Pacific, right?
Correct, yeah.
So even if it was like 7 p.m. like Eastern, that's like peak gym time. And today was like lower body leg day, so
oof,
getting that sweat in.
You'll feel that in 2 days.
Oh, I already felt it. I made the mistake. I think I told you this morning. I made the mistake of putting weights on my legs when I was doing my walking for my 10K steps yesterday. And I was like, oh God, today is leg day. I didn't even think about that yesterday.
Doing the Rock Lee type of training.
Yeah, I gotta practice because, being here on Earth, I'm not really used to the weight of like carrying around armor and maces. So I have to start training my body to be able to handle that kind of equipment. So may as well start early, right?
Gotcha. The heavy plate cleric. Got it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about exactly heavy. I'm just thinking like if I have a mace, that seems like it's heavy. I gotta have like strength to be able to control swinging that thing around, and then all the herbs and potions I want to carry, that's gonna add weight.
True.
So, and if there's any rocks that I want to bring back, because I don't know why I have rocks. Maybe somebody died in front of me and I looted their body. I don't know, but gotta prepare for it. Yeah, exactly. Got to prepare for anything.
I like how she casually throws in that, she's just looting bodies everywhere.
Yeah, that's normal, isn't it?
Again, cute but deadly. You guys just don't know. She's savage. She just doesn't exude that savageness. She take you by surprise.
I'm very pay to win. How am I pay to win? I'm just working out.
It's because of that. That cosmetic mug skin. Penumbra said it was breaking his immersion.
My cosmetic mug skin?
Yeah, the thermos.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
There you go.
I drink about 4 of these a day, which is about 4 liters of water, 3 to 4.
And hello. Welcome in, Raiders from Nice, and is there no one else?
Phantom, thank you for the resub too. Cheers.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome in. What did you guys talk about? Tell us. What did you guys talk about? Welcome in, Raiders.
I really liked Is There No One Else's latest video too about all the drama and stuff. Probably won't talk about it here, but like
yeah.
I think it was very on point.
Can you link it for us?
Yeah, if you have that direct link, by all means, drop that thing in chat.
Yeah. What is everybody talking about? We are still in the warm-up part of our intro. So we are just chit-chatting about life. You do hear a Lloyd. There's a Lloyd here in chat, and I guess this is a great time to do my little intro, talking about the roadmap, etc. Very nice. How did Lloyd get out of my house? Sneakily.
Preparing for phase 2 as my rogue cosplay.
There you go. Chico, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the tavern. Hope you enjoy your stay here. So if you've never heard of our tavern talk on Tuesdays, we typically discuss something to do with gaming or Ashes of Creation in a very chill, welcome to the tavern kind of environment. We open up our Discord, and we will eventually get people who join us in Discord on the screen with their cameras as well. And we kind of just have a casual, like, imagine you go to the bar and you're talking about things with your friends. That's basically what we're doing, but here on Twitch. And usually I would have a drink, but right now I'm prepping for stuff, so I'm just having water. But you're welcome to bring a drink with you, whether it be water, a Monster, or a nice glass of your favorite. And if you like these types of videos, feel free to join us in Discord if you've been a part of our shows previously or have been in our chat a long time. We're always happy to bring people in. And if you've never been a part of our live stream, feel free to be in our chat currently and give us your thoughts. Who needs costumes or even clothes? Where did that come from?
Well, just now it came from your mic, and your mic picked it up from your face.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'll take a shot of Crown, please. Hey, I think we have something somewhere. I know we got Fireball.
Vegas bombs.
Biggest bombs. There you go. But if you like this kind of content, please consider giving us a like. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where we also multi-stream, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you can see when we go live or when we post. But with that, I saw there was a link from Nice Gaming on the Voyager Plus pre-pack. Did you put out the link for? You did. I see it. The link. Go check out this link here for No One's video. I just replied to it, so go check that out. We coordinated how we are all gonna steal Nice's cosmetics. Oh no.
Nice's cosmetics are getting yoinked. Although he said he had the ugliest pre-order cosmetics, so there's that too. Who's really the winner there?
I don't know. He didn't drink all his Fireball last night. Well, I refilled it. He drank it all. I had to refill it.
Oh, what did I get?
What'd you get?
Oh no, I'm looking at the thing that Nice linked. Trying to figure out which one mine is.
Oh, which package you bought?
Oh, I think I have Adventure. So good.
But yeah, so we were just kind of begin with, by the way, there's a new FAQ news piece that is out. We are not really a news podcast. We don't really cover news unless it's community news, because we are a very community centric podcast. So just in the spirit of updating the community, there is a new FAQ post that was posted about an hour or so ago by Intrepid on ashesofcreation.com. And they dive further into, they actually do their own timeline. So for those of you that don't know, I made a timeline and I was sharing it out because we had a couple people who come in and they were a bit confused by the timeline, understandably. And they thought that there was only going to be like 1 or 2 testing things until May, and that Alpha 2 didn't actually start completely until May. And so after a bit of back and forth, we ended up getting it to the point where we're like, no, there's weekly weekend testing, and then weekly 5+ days worth of testing, and then the 24/7. So I'm glad that they actually put out a little bit of a timeline. It's more of a timeline on when the alpha wave keys start specifically, which was actually a little bit of feedback that I got. People were saying, oh, I wish you would say, when other people have, their thing starting. And I was like, the timeline I put together was like the general timeline for people with bundles previously, not the new wave keys, which is why I went and added the new wave key after the fact.
AV Gaming, by the way, thank you for the cheer.
Yes,
cheer to you.
Thank you for the cheer. I'll have some water. You don't have to have a camera. We just, people often ask because they see us and they don't see our guests if we're going to have a camera. And it's one of those, I was testing the waters to see how interested people were in joining us multiple times before putting on and putting together a camera section for everything. So, yep.
Wrong site.
The other thing I want to mention is just an FYI. So in regards to the keys, the site is going down tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific, I believe is what they said, for about 4 hours. And during that downtime, I believe that's when they're going to be updating the shop with the alpha keys for purchase. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m., which is around 2 p.m. Eastern time. So 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern is when they should be back up. Obviously, check out AOC support for when it is back up, or if you follow their news, I think they have their announcements in there too. So just some little bit of housekeeping. Be prepared. If you're trying to like log in tomorrow during those times, and it's not working. That's probably why. So.
And keys go live tomorrow.
Yes, they do. I'm gonna buy a key for my dad because I don't know how many people know this, but I would not be here today if my dad had not introduced me to World of Warcraft. I don't think.
You also would not be here today if not for your dad as well. So there's that too.
okay, but I wasn't going that deep.
That's really the direction I thought it could go there for a moment.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. You know, the mean part is I can't even drink during this. That is mean.
I have a story for after dark hour, but we'll save that for later.
Oh, it's the tavern talk. It is after dark. You're here. It's past 9 p.m. The kids are kicked out.
All right. Well, my mom, like for Mother's Day, I gave her a card and I said, "Hey, I love you. Thank you for letting Dad come inside you. I wouldn't be here without you." And so yeah, she just called me a dork and gave me a hug. So yeah, that's what I did for Mother's Day.
Get her a baseball card. Say she's your favorite catcher in the world.
Yep, exactly. Vertec gets it.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
I love my parents.
Goodness. You know what's funny is I typically don't have that kind of humor, but my parents, they try to corrupt me because they'll drop that humor in much more often than I do.
Yeah. I was nervous meeting Vertec's parents until I met them, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm fine. We're good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Trust
I think
me,
I fit in just fine. But
indeed.
Perfect.
Yeah, what else? What do you guys want to talk about? Because I mean, I actually, before I got home, I had the premeditated plan to talk about archetypes because that was going off in our Discord today.
Ooh.
But we can kind of talk about whatever. I just don't really want to talk about keys because those are over talked at the moment for me. It got like real hot real fast and then burned out.
Do we want to just like tell the facts so that like we can public, or no? Do you want to just let other do that?
I'm sorry, you cut out. Do we want what?
Do you want to like just talk about like the facts of like what they're going out and not talk about any of the drama, just so that we can like inform people of everything that's going on, or no?
Yeah, we can do that. I think we did that technically on Sunday. Sorry.
Oh.
AV, yes.
That's actually perfect timing to talk about stuff like that too.
Wait, do we have, what's the referral? Is it referral? What is it?
I think it's Ash's referral. Yeah, Ash's referral.
We need to just do ashes or something. How the F do you spell this? Just do it, please. My lord.
I done did it. I got you covered. I got you covered.
We need to change that. That is far too long. If you would like to support us, so what is a referral code? Let me get into this because there's been many misconceptions over this previously, and I'm sure, Lloyd, you've seen this as well. We technically get a portion of what you spend using our referral code. So if you click on the referral code and then you create a forum account, which is actually how Intrepid attributes your keys to the game and your access to the game, is through the Ashes of Creation referral. Then any purchases you make in the future, be it with this key or your monthly subscription, we get 15% of that. And Vertec, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're intending to take that money and give it back to the community in some way or another.
Hell yeah. Whatever money we don't
need. Money?
Huh?
I'm only getting embers.
Yeah, well, so the way the referrals work.
Yeah, go ahead, Vertec.
Yeah, you get 15% of whatever your referrals spend. That turns into Intrepid bucks. You can exchange these Intrepid bucks for embers to use in the cosmetic store, or you can
Oh.
cash them out for an actual just straight like reverse
dollar
sub
value.
to your bank account instead of from your
Yeah.
bank account.
Yeah. And so we would like to take any of the money that we make through those referrals and maybe give away like gift cards for game time or cosmetics, things like that. We'll look into the legalities of what we can and cannot do. Obviously, we don't want to do anything that Twitch or YouTube would not like, but maybe it'll be like a Discord giveaway, etc.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, in that case, everybody should refer to the Golden Feather Tavern and not me, because they will use that better than me.
oh no. If you found Lloyd first and he taught you about ashes, you should definitely give it to him.
I'm gonna use it selfishly, so it's your decision, I guess.
In the grand scheme of
The
things,
power is
always
in your
support.
hands.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, always support who is bringing you the most joy in your life.
Yeah.
If it is
But,
sitting on a degenerate podcast with Lloyd, by all means. Everyone likes a degenerate podcast.
True.
I mean, he is called Lude Lloyd for a reason. Just
True
saying.
story. True story.
But yeah, AV, also, I don't know if you've been with us, how long you've been with us, but every year around the first weekend of November, Intrepid does their parody extra live stream. And every year so far, Vertec and I have stayed up 24 hours during that time period to try and win as many keys as they're giving away, so that we can give it away to you guys in the Discord and stuff. So we have in the past pinged everybody in the Discord for that. I think what I'll do is I'll make a role for if you have Alpha 2 access or not, so that I can ping specifically people who don't have Alpha 2 access. And I might do it that way. But yeah, huge side note. Hi, Dark Mitten. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Welcome back.
Mitten.
I
What
don't need
up?
any access. That's fair. I'm just putting it out there. So 7 referees, your sub can be paid for each month. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so but it gets tricky, right? With that, because that specific concept with it takes 7 subs, and then you can get your sub paid for by their payments. That's if they are all paying in full. If they're not paying in full, then you don't get the 15% of what they spent because they didn't spend anything. So if they have referrals that are cutting their cost in half, that also gets your benefit cut in half. It's interesting. So literally however much money gets charged to their card.
Aw, that's so cute. Well, welcome to Dark Mitten Jr. But Lloyd, what you start us off with what you want to talk about. Sorry, that was a huge side note.
I was just gonna
referral.
I was just gonna say that like wave 1 gonna start October 25th. You have from tomorrow, I believe like 11 a.m. Pacific.
November 8th for wave 1.
Yeah, that's when you start. Oh yeah, sorry.
Phase 1 starts October 5th or 25th.
25th.
Wave 1 starts November 8th.
Correct.
It's so
yeah.
confusing.
See, this is why we're covering this.
Yeah.
Because it's confusing. Okay, so exactly what Chibi said. Phase 1 starts October 25th. Wave 1 of the keys starts November 8th. You can start buying those at 11 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. And yeah, so then from there on out, you will have access to all of the phases, the betas. You'll have $15 worth of embers, and you will also have $15 worth, which is the subscription for 1 month.
1 month, yeah.
And that will be kind of the same thing subsequently going forward, but wave 2 will start December 20th, and wave 3 will start May 1st.
What happened
So,
there?
Oh, well, Bazzini, hi. Sorry, you're. I don't know what. I think you
That was
followed
weird.
us. I think subscribed on YouTube. That was the YouTube one. It's not.
Oh, it's
it's a
not
YouTube
centered.
member.
Oh my goodness. Oh well. Thank you so much for that, by the way.
I think that was a YouTube subscription, not a membership. But yeah,
Oh, they're
not
different.
like. Yeah, that's the hardest part with this. So a YouTube subscription is like a Twitch follow. and a Twitch subscription is like a YouTube membership. So I try to like put the same like icon for the same type of thing. It's so confusing when they name everything differently, just like phases versus waves. It's like so confusing. Like somebody on Reddit was asking about that too. They're like, wait, what's wave 1? What's the difference between a wave and a phase? And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry.
I know.
It does seem like wave 2 and wave 3 are very, I think they are the same phases.
They're on time. Yeah, they're on time with the phases. It's just the first wave that's a little behind.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I was just like, at least we get 6 to 9 months of subscription time. I forget how long, and some in game currency. Yeah, and so like that's another thing. Not really to talk about like the drama, but just talking about the logistics is like a lot of people who have beta access paid like $150. And they're kind of upset because the keys are $120. But the thing is, you get like way more game time and embers and things with those bundles than the current key holders are. And I get it if that's not what your value is. I get it. But I you know, Intrepid is in between a rock and a hard spot at this point. You know, I
also did see Margaret in the Discord, the official Ashes of Creation. She said we're trying to figure out the logistics that feel better for the beta key. Okay. So just wait it out, see what they come up with. They might help those key holders as well. Let's just I guess let Intrepid cook on that.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, the reality is, I think you've mentioned it on your stream, like Intrepid is a brand new, they're a baby company. They're literally an indie baby company who have never done a game before, and this is their first go at doing all of this. So like, imagine your first time driving or learning how to do something. There were hiccups along the way. You made mistakes, and you know, I do understand the passion that the gamers have. And hi, Fupo. I do understand the passion that people have coming into this when they're like, you're constantly delaying, or like, why would you make that decision? That's such a bad decision. And I hear you. It is valid. I completely get it. But at the same time, I'm not being like a white knight for them. I'm just speaking from being a developer standpoint and learning how to do my trade. I've been doing this for 3 years now. It's not comparable to them building a game for 5, but they started with 7 people and they're at like what, 200 people now?
Yeah.
So plus there was COVID in the middle, which they had to navigate around COVID because Steven, for those of you that might be newer, Steven preferred the company experience where everybody was in the office together, in the same office. Like, they were really strict. They were very strict about, like, you must live in San Diego and you must come into the office. And that was part of the reason why Vertec and I never applied for them initially, even though like some stuff looked interesting. Yeah, we were trying to leave California.
Trying really hard to leave California.
But the second thing, I don't know if newer people understand the big parts. Were you here, Lloyd? You were here, I think, when they went from Unreal Engine 4 to 5.
Following since 2020. So yeah.
Okay, so the bigger part of that jump from UE4 to UE5 was, if you remember, they were talking about how like only one person could log in at a time on Unreal Engine to work on it in like a specific cell. So Unreal Engine 5 opened it up where multiple people can work at the same time. So imagine somebody goes off on vacation. There's nobody there at the office to log them out so somebody else can log in. Like, that's creating all this bottlenecking, essentially.
Yeah.
So
but, I mean, like, they're like that. I think the development didn't even really start until like 2021. But
that's how I feel. Like,
that's just kind of like how I feel about it. Like, I feel
hit the ground running. Yeah.
People really over accentuate like that. Oh, the game's been in development for like 8 years. I'm like, yes, but not really.
Kinda.
So
yeah. There was about a year or so prior to that with APOC that they went down because during APOC that gave them so much information on server issues that they had to go and fix in order to
rebuilt the game from scratch.
Yep, in order to even get to where we are now. They like Vertec and I call that the great AOC drought. Like if anybody else thinks that there's an Ashes of Creation content drought, you've not seen it unless
not
you were
experienced a
during
drought.
that period. It was bad. They were like, yeah, so here's this art thing. And we're like, oh, cool. A new art thing. I mean, it's pretty, don't get me wrong, but there's
I
no
love
content
some
to
art,
talk about.
but let's get something meaty. But yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
I think they even stopped live streams for a couple months during that time.
Did they? I don't think so.
There,
We
I think they
did.
did
was.
for-
I remember Vladis was doing like a rewatch of like the old ones. There was like a 6-month gap.
I don't
Yeah, there was a
remember
fairly
them
large
stopping
gap.
it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's about the time where we were like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just do like twice a month instead of every week. I
Yeah.
think for like 1 month we did one for that month. And then it just didn't feel right, so we started going weekly again.
Also, hello, you shadow. I joked that when they all were announcing where the mounts. Loki was just animal husbandry, but no one paid attention.
Yeah.
Kind
I
of.
like it.
Flew under the radar.
I'm sure they're doing the best they can, to be fair, and I'm sure if alpha beta runs longer than anticipated, Steven will likely be paying the server cost for everyone. Hard to predict 5 years in the future. Yeah, but I mean, that's the other point is like, honestly, I think they finally got over 100 people working on at Intrepid, like total, not even just on the game, total, if you include HR people and other people in other areas, like around COVID or after COVID. And they only recently got to like 200 people.
Yeah, I
Plus.
think it was 2021, 2022 is when they reached 100, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Sounds about
So
right.
if you think from 7 people to about 100 or so people from 2017 to 2021, 2022, how much do you realistically expect them to get done during that time period? On such a massive game. like
Also,
this
another
was.
thing that I don't see being touched on at all is that Steven put in $60 million of. So, like, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Originally, last time that
It's
we
a couple
heard, it
dollars.
was like 30. It was like 30 million. So he's doubled it since then. So
Yeah. When
Yeah.
did did he say that?
he said that on stream.
Yeah,
He
he
said
Oh, wow.
the total cost was been like 90 million up to date, and 60 million of it was like his own.
Dang. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I think-
Wait. We got a Vladis wanting to join us.
Let's go.
Ooh.
It's a
Welcome,
Vladis.
Gladys.
This guy. Oh wait, I gotta do this thing. 1 moment. Do
Uh-oh.
that and do this. That way we can have a full name on screen. There we go.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Hey.
Hey.
What's
But
up?
yeah, welcome in there, Vladis. How you doing today?
It's good to see you, Vertec, Lloyd, Chibi. How's everyone doing?
Good, hi.
Fantastic. It's been a wonderful Tuesday. I had to look at what day it was.
Well, I wasn't going to stream today because it's my wife and my anniversary. It's her 2-year anniversary.
Aw.
But she has a severe migraine, so I'm just here playing classic WoW and hanging out. And I was like, oh shit, I saw y'all streaming. I was like, let me pop into the tavern.
Yeah, I hope
Perfect.
she feels better, but happy to have you. We're just kind of actually chit-chatting about the history of Intrepid and like
Oh,
how
legacy.
what are we like 8 years in, but really we felt like we're like 3 to 4 years in because of when they actually hit the ground running.
Right.
Yeah. There were a couple rough starts, is how I see it.
Mhm.
And then they actually started really developing the game.
Yeah. Garcimile says, according to the wiki, less than 200 employees at the end of April 2024 of this year. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, less than 200 people as of April. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And
The
how much
200
we've
plus
seen in
thing
the
he was
last
talking
year.
about is definitely new.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, I think they had some extra investors in the game as well. But I think when Steven was talking about the dollar bills, he was saying there was 90 million so far into the game, and 30 million of that came from like pre-sales and cosmetics and stuff.
That's absolutely bonkers. Like 2/3 of that is out of his own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Shitty scam, if you ask me.
Right. Oh, it came up in I forget who I was watching at the time because I've been watching so much of the content in the past couple of days, but somebody said, yeah. And it was somebody in chat that said that Steven bought the absolute worst pre-sale package.
I love that. That's funny.
I want to say it was on when Jamie was doing his early morning I just woke up thing. I want to say it was during that stream.
Oh my god.
But yeah, somebody
That's
was like, yeah, Steven bought the worst pre-order package ever.
Just watching Jamie crack open 2 monsters, hell let loose, and then streaming for fucking 12 hours that day was magical. We got to see so many versions of him.
Yeah. But I don't know if you saw Vladis. They put out an FAQ for the keys.
Oh, I kind of didn't because I thought it was just people have been talking about this subject for the past weekend, and so but that's good. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff that Intrepid said originally at that AMA that has completely changed now. So
Yeah, it looks like this is the full update. So if anybody, it's a very good.
I will say
For
that
people that
those
get
of us,
updated on.
yeah, I will say that those of us who are CCs within the community, it's nothing new in there that you won't learn anything new from it. But it's a nice resource for those who don't know and haven't been keeping on top of everything.
Yeah.
Because it actually answers a lot of questions I've seen everybody have in the past couple of days.
Ooh.
I can finally just link somebody something and have all the information.
Yeah.
So that's nice for
yeah.
me.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I feel like us as content creators over the last couple of days have really done our best to help Intrepid like communicate what they're trying to communicate while waiting for this info to come out. I mean, we're lucky on Sunday to have gotten the official like news piece to go out like right when we were going live. And then now like this FAQ that kind of really helps answer a lot of the questions with the keys versus just the roadmap. But Magisto says, nice spoke about dueling should be present in Alpha 2 and should be a priority. What are your takes on dueling and how soon should it be added to Alpha 2? And I can already tell that you are excited about the idea of dueling. Lloyd.
I actually don't care about dueling being in A2. You know why? Because I'm going to be hosting a PvP tournament in the Lawless Zone. And guess what? If you break the rules, if you interfere with duels, the crowd gets to kill you. That is the rule.
Nice.
I like
So
that.
that is
Let
my
me know when
plan.
you're hosting those.
Yeah, I'll probably make a whole event for it, but it's going to be a
Will
lot
you
of
be
fun.
live streaming?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Hells yeah.
Put it on the calendar. Put it on the calendar.
Yeah, definitely
I'm
put it on the
excited.
calendar.
I still have to work out the details, but that is for sure 100% my.
That sounds so excited.
I'll see,
Crash that like the WoW funeral. No.
I'll see if I can create a character that's just called Cameraman, and I'll just run around and get different angles for you.
That's
Just
funny.
nobody
Love
kill the
that.
cameraman. Nobody kill the cameraman.
Everyone protect the cameraman. He has
Protect the
bodyguards.
cameraman. I'll be if you're a cameraman, I'll make a cleric or like a bard that's called Cameraman's Bodyguard.
Pocket killer. Yeah.
There we go. I like it.
I'll be like,
Cameraman and
but
camera
also be
girl,
there.
superheroes of the recording.
There you go. There we go. We'll just give you all our B footage for you.
That's amazing.
WoW reference, no take candle.
But somebody else is gonna have to create a camera character too, because I would want to be a part of that.
And before your double cleric final that lasts 45 minutes, right? Honestly, people were saying that cleric was really hard to fight against during the node wars and stuff like that too while we were testing. Because if you get a cleric protecting themselves and fighting somebody and another cleric healing that cleric, yeah, that I like went AFK for like 2 seconds and someone was like just smacking me and I was just like standing there and I didn't die. And it turned out later somebody was healing me through that. And then I was also kind of healing myself. Like I'd hit a button, but I was like over here like typing something and I'd go over and I'd like heal myself real quick and then go back to typing.
Yeah. And previously Oracle, by the way, had commented that surely they'll need the big numbers of workers for when the game gets going for quick bug fixes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
For the developers that are working on the mechanics like that. You know, a good solid number of those are probably working on art assets and building the world out. And you know, there's going to be encounter designers and such like that are working out raids and dungeons, etc.
Yeah. You know, that takes me to this other idea of how much do you guys think is actually kind of already ready to go? They're just in the internal phase, like the internal testing phase of it, not ready to give it to us yet. Like looking at the different phases for alpha.
I would say they're behind. Because I believe phase 3 was what alpha 2 was supposed to be. It was the feature complete, has all the archetypes, and then they build upon those and continue building like betas and stuff. So I feel like phase 3 is the real alpha 2, and phase 1 and phase 2 are kind of just, you know, bonus spot testing that is kind of persistent until like phase 3. So I feel like that's what we got, but they just worded it very sugar coated.
Well, there was actually a quote. I think you'd grabbed this the other day, Chibi. There's a quote that even came back from, I believe, Kickstarter days that said Alpha 2 was going to be released in 2 separate phases, and the second one was going to be persistent, and the first one was going to be like network testing, etc. They've
I
added
do
a
remember
third
seeing
phase.
that quote too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of released for the most part as planned from ages ago, with just a slight tweak to it. They added a second phase in there where it seems like they're trying to ramp it up in blocks of time, in 2 separate blocks of time.
That quote was from like 2017, right? With Jeffrey
Yeah.
Bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like forever ago. I think from the look of the text and everything, I don't know exactly where it came from. I'll try and dig it up on the wiki, but from the looks of the text and everything, it looks like Kickstarter text.
I think if it's what that white box that I shared, that was from the Kickstarter. Yeah.
Okay, so that was literally from like day 0, like when they were putting the Kickstarter together before they even opened up the Kickstarter. That was there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so maybe my perception is wrong, but that's what it felt like to me based on like communication.
Yeah, and I mean that's the other thing. I don't know how you feel about this, Vladis, too. I feel like the most recent AMA stream was a little like communication rough.
There was some things about it that were I think they were trying to do their best.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the thing is that, and I can't understand their like what they discuss before they go live, or if certain things are you know, I feel like most of the time I feel like Steven literally goes off the cuff. Like, and I think this was something where he probably could have benefited from having like a slight bulleted point script.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, but I don't think I mean, my whole thing too is that no matter what they choose to do, I saw the goal of Asmongold video today where he was basically talking about originally like, oh, the Alpha 2 should have been free. And I understand why he said that. Because he's mostly referring to multi-billion-dollar companies, and it should be free when it comes from like an Ubisoft, an Activision, a Blizzard, a Bethesda. You know, they have billions of dollars in reserve, but Intrepid doesn't. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that this is why the Kickstarter program exists, right? To see if this project was even going to be worth investing into. And now it's just really weird how the overall community is like, oh, this is like, you should be spending your money more wisely and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, dude, like people want to spend money on things they believe in. It's not wrong.
When people see a project the size of Ashes, I think people tend to forget that this is an indie company and it's a guy forking out literally his life savings being forked out from his bank account. Is what's happening here.
I think 100%. I mean, that's the thing that, I feel it gets completely overlooked, because they literally just lump Intrepid in with these multi-billion-dollar companies. And again, I would assume if Intrepid did have the backing of a publisher, and this is exactly why you're probably going to see Ghostcrawler's MMO. If he charges for you to test his game, that's messed up. You want to know why? Because he has a multi-billion-dollar publisher. NCSoft is literally publishing his MMO. So again, in terms of Asmongold, he shouldn't charge anything. If he's going to allow testing for his Ghost MMO, it should be free. because he doesn't need the backing of anybody. But again, in my opinion, if he does charge, I wouldn't care. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't care. But I mean, it's just, again, it's all about what you choose to support, what you choose to do. And I understand the whole jadedness of, supporting shitty companies and shitty practices. But again, I think Intrepid's been as open and as transparent as they possibly can be comparatively to other companies who try to literally poke your eyes.
Yeah.
And
that's a
thoughtful
really
with all
hard
things
thing.
considered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be like that because you do really open yourself to criticism. I mean, this is a total tangent, but think of like all the mommy vloggers out there that are vlogging like a day in their life and how they raise their kids, and they're just opening themselves to all of this like opinions and like feedback or criticisms on how they parent and how they live their lifestyle. So like being open and transparent about how you do stuff has its benefits of like, look at how we do it and this is how we function. And it's meant to be like you don't have to follow a cut and paste way of doing things. And also, as a thank you for supporting us, we want to keep you updated with things rather than just being quiet and not like sharing the stuff. But obviously, they have those issues of the backlash, of the criticism that they get, especially when it's obvious, like sometimes when people misunderstand something, and it's a matter of like, do you want to take the time to really sit down and understand what it is that you maybe misunderstood? Are you willing to take the time to sit and chat with other people about it? Or are you just going to run deaf and ignore people trying to like discuss that with you and try to fix whatever misconception you might have? Because that's a couple of things that we've been able to do within our own Discord as of late.
And I'll be right back, folks, by the way. Keep on talking. I'm going to be able to hear you, but I gotta step away from the camera for a moment.
Okay. I think the real disservice, to be honest, is most of these people that are talking about prices completely ignored the fact that Intrepid is 100% trying to follow through on their word about being consistent and keeping the exclusivity that they had promised before at a reasonable value. And nobody talks about that. They just talk about the final price.
Yeah.
And so it's like Intrepid is trying to keep to their word, and by keeping to their word, they also got shot in the foot. So it's like, what do you do as Intrepid then? Like, do you break your promise or do you make people happy?
I would have probably I don't know exactly what you're referring to breaking the promise, but if it was up to me, I would have just said, hey guys, I know you guys said if I was Steven, that's exactly what I've said. I said, I know we said we were going to open up Alpha 2 key cells, but we're actually not going to. We thought, we were going to need the extra space, but it turns out, we're trying to keep our money up for server ramping. And we have over 100,000 people, that we got a service from the people who purchased the keys already. And, once we get in there, if we feel like we need more people down the road, we might open them. But I think that would have been a better route personally. Like, I think if we would have tested, at least for the first 3 months, right, all the way from October to December, and it was just us, just the pre-Alpha 2 people, I think that would have been enough. And I think in January, if they wanted to reassess and figure out like, hey, we actually need more people, then of course open up key cells. But I think doing it now when they already had 100,000 people, and especially if you go watch the January 2023 live stream whenever he announced it, Margaret said, yeah, we thought we were just going to need 30,000 people, and then we got over 100,000. So it's like, I think they clearly had enough people, but again, it's probably they just need the money. That's again, it's like having a startup, dude, is a real thing, man. Like lot of, I said, most of my friends from my small town all started small businesses, and believe me, capital to remain in business is a real struggle for most startups.
Yeah.
So
and honestly, you
I
gotta look at
I don't even know where the thought process of like, are they even doing this for money? Like, where is that comment coming? Because I have no idea.
So Yeah, like you got to look at it from a bunch of different points of view. Like starting from day one, they had pre-order packs. They were continuing every single month for the longest time. And if they had just continued that, nobody would have batted an eye if they split off the alpha keys separately without stopping sales, right? But
Correct.
Right.
they stopped sales because a lot of people were complaining at the time. I mean, this isn't why they stopped it, like from what they put out there. I'm just saying that it also coincided with the timing of everybody talking about how they wish they were just keys and they didn't have to buy cosmetics, because people were getting kind of bent about there always being cosmetics and you couldn't just buy a key. And then there were the cosmetics that they didn't have a definition for, like the freeholds and whatnot. So they paused it because they said, we think we have enough people, but you know, hey, then they said, hey, we're probably going to bring it back, so don't buy it if you don't want this pack, just wait. And then they brought them back. And then when they brought them back, they had it separated out without cosmetics attached, which is what a lot of people were asking for. Like a lot of people were asking for that, specifically before they even stopped the original sales, before they started talking about stopping the original sales. So they kind of, if you look at the long term, they kind of were giving people what they wanted from the beginning.
A few things real quick, just because I'd like to get chat to have a voice.
Yeah.
For one, I forgot, I'm sorry who said it now, but they're saying that they hope that Intrepid makes a good amount of money from opening these keys up for sale again. And I think, you know, we all want Intrepid to continue being able to develop successfully. And there's always going to be a, like, what should they have done? But I feel like the hardest point is being on the outside looking in and judging that call without being in the rooms in those meetings and knowing what's going on behind the scenes. I do understand the cautiousness or the curiosity about, you know, if they said we only need this much and we got way more people than that buying in during like the January timeframe, and now they're saying they need more people. Part of me is wondering if it's because they are wanting as many people as possible to get access for like the server meshing tech that they're trying to test out before we get into beta. That is part of me that's curious about that. But Galwood is saying, I think there's a subset of gamers that really want AOC and probably Star Citizen to fail because the other Kickstarter MMOs failed. It's like Intrepid is being punished for surviving because some gamers have decided that they don't like the format.
That's a very real statement.
AB says they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. And I think Vertec kind of just brought that up. Geolis says selling the 8-2 keys are essentially selling the game with a box cost for an influx of cash, and I'm okay with that. And then AV says the thing is they did buy it. If they regret it, it's buyer's remorse. And people are essentially saying like, oh, it's FOMO because you said you may not open keys, or you may open keys again, but you weren't sure. And so I felt the pressure to buy at that point in time. And I usually say I don't really feel like I have a right to really talk on that because I backed this back in Kickstarter. So I've not had that worry of do I buy in or do I not buy in. So I can't really relate to that. And therefore I feel like I have a little bit of a bias when I go to give my opinion. And I want to empathize with you because I do get it. If you think that that's going to be the last time that they're selling the keys, even though they're saying we may open keys up in the future, I do get that. Like, I don't want to bet on them maybe opening keys in the future. I want to make sure I get in now. And I do understand that. But at the end of the day, that is still your decision to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give my perspective as like a A2 buyer, and then I upgraded to A1. If they had given these keys for $30 for free, I would not have been mad. I invested in the game for the development, for the testing of it. I understand not everybody feels that way, and I am a very I am part of the minority with that opinion. But the promise that Intrepid made, to go back to what I had said before, was that they had always promised to keep the keys value to the people that had already backed. So that's the promise that they were keeping.
Mm-hmm.
And they stuck with it, and this is the result.
Yeah, because I mean, imagine if they just because I saw this argument with a couple of people as well. Well, if they just needed new testers, why didn't they just give out keys? Well, what do you think the Kickstarter people would say about that? Do you think they wouldn't be upset? Like the longest time backers, and they bought in to get keys and to get this and that, and then the Intrepid just runs out and throws out 50,000 keys for free. They'd probably be pretty upset.
I just think it would have almost been better if they just did another cosmetic pack. Like, you know, they just whipped up another one and again, same pricing, 375, 250, or, you know, same as usual, same business as usual.
Why though?
Well, because it would have been more money for them, and because I feel like, again, I don't think they truly need more testers. I really don't. I think they need more money. I think that's the more realistic answer. That's not, and again, that's not a negative thing to say. Again,
no, not at all. If they need
startups
money, they need money. Right.
And I know, again, we always like to think, well, Steven's just going to reach into his wallet and stuff like that. But again, dude, like, he's not made of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Once you spend $60 million to bring a game to light,
you've done your part.
Getting a couple extra bucks from some key sales is like, that's like, please just help me. My bank account is hemorrhaging right now. Let's go ahead and
but I just feel
get
like
a little bit extra money.
If they would have done it as business per usual, like, it would have been like, well, why are you guys complaining? This is what we've been getting. Like, this is literally the same thing we've gotten for years. But again, it's because of what Steven promised, right? He promised that it was just going to be a key and only a key. And I think they wanted to deliver on that. But now it's not just the key anymore, right? So it's more of a bundle at this point.
Yeah, but not like, I don't know what the word is to call it, devil's advocate, the other side of that coin, whatever you want to call it. I've heard from the community that they would have been much happier if it didn't come with cosmetics, and they could have just had the key and maybe some embers to buy whatever cosmetic that they wanted, because they didn't like the last cosmetic that was available. And so the problem I see is, if we give them another cosmetic bundle, they are stuck with whatever cosmetic bundle that was. And if they don't like that cosmetic bundle, then you're in the same boat as you were in the first place with the previous.
And
I think this is actually just very clear that Intrepid is trying their hardest. They're literally trying to keep their word, never go back on what they say, try to keep things fair. And the more they do this, they're really just digging a hole. And I think what the community sentiment is just like, hey, if you got to change stuff, just be up in front and honest and just own it.
Well, I mean, they have gone back on stuff. I mean, we were promised a character creator beforehand. They are not delivering on that anymore. I mean, my whole thing is just, if they would have done it as business per usual, it would have been annoying to those people, because again, I don't think copying up, 375 or 250 or whatever the packs were, isn't feasible for a lot of people. But again, it's because this project has already, the owner has spent so much of his own money. Like, he needs funding, and he doesn't want to look at funding from a publisher. I think most people need to understand that, because what is truly the alternative? It's Steven going to a game or a publisher like NetEase or Amazon or any of these other things, and that comes with strings attached. And I think people are literally forgetting these things because they just want to be angry for no reason.
Oops, wrong person.
And also randomly, just because I wasn't able to fit it in earlier, but Keyboard Oracle and Yushaudo had a conversation saying about how, imagine the coffee and milk cost for 200 people. And oh dear Lord, I didn't even account for the coffee and toilet paper cost for 200 people.
That's true. I never thought about that either.
Dude, and I mean, whatever if they have a building, like if it's that typical, like the typical business building in San Diego, California, that alone is insane.
That's gotta be expensive. Yeah,
that's insane money.
Like, and then there are so many other cities they could put their
bro, come to Texas.
Right?
Come to Texas, dude.
I mean, there are a lot of tech companies that went to Texas because it's so much cheaper. Like, we as survivors, and I literally will call it survivors, call me melodramatic if you want, as survivors of California, For reference, I was paying like $1,000 for maybe even, I don't even know how big the studio was. It was literally a studio apartment. There was like a tiny
450 square
toilet.
feet.
But I was paying $1,000 a month for that. And Vertec takes me out to the East Coast and he's like, that house over there, how much do you think that house costs? I'm like, I don't know, like $2 million. He's like, wrong, 350,000. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, what about that one? That looks pretty fancy, huh? How about that one? I don't know, because you tricked me with the last one. Just tell me. Oh, that one might be 500,000. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, the last place that we rented was on the market for $1 million and was run down and did not look nearly as nice as any of those houses. I'm just like,
Still had an addition on the house that was from like the days where that nice wood paneling, like the fiberboard wood, like fake wood look paneling on all the walls.
Yeah.
That was from the original
had
edition.
the retro tiling countertops.
Wasn't retro on purpose.
Yoni
It
from
just
chat.
still happened to be that way.
Yep.
Yoni from chat stole what I was going to say. He said Texas
What?
with their great power grids.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not everything is all great in Texas, but I mean, the one thing is that, you know, hey, there's a reason why all the Californians have been evacuating here to Texas, okay?
AV's like, I lived those years.
I'm just
Bro,
saying,
they've
Wood paneling.
Florida's
flooding
got some
that
pretty
river.
sweet deals for businesses too.
Oh yeah, it's those are the two biggest states of evacuation from Cal. I'm not even joking. Like actually Nevada is another one. Texas and Florida. Like I've had so many people here where I live in San Antonio be like, "Oh yeah, I just came from California. We sold our house for almost $1.1 million." You know, and it's like an average home here in Texas that they can get for like $345,000. It's like
I
ridiculous.
thought that Californians need to stop moving to Vegas because my fucking rent cannot handle it. I need a
Look,
one-bedroom
the
apartment being
refugees have to go
$2,200 a
somewhere.
month is fucking crazy. They need to leave Vegas.
Bananas.
I don't care.
Everybody says that about everywhere. There's an influx. I mean, there was a lot of people moving to Florida about the time that we were moving to Florida. And I kid you not, we're looking at a place that's around 1,600. Nahili! Thank you for the resub.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Lloyd out there in Vegas trying to get a job at the Mustang Ranch.
I kid you not. I got us like locked in for a rent for 2 years, and after the first year, it's already easily $400 more expensive to rent the same size house out here per month.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm glad I signed a 2-year lease where I'm like, you're not gonna up our rent during these 2 years.
Wait for that housing bubble to burst so we can buy in at super low.
Darcy says, stop coming to Florida, they're full.
Well, you know what? I've been here for 2 years, so you can't kick me out now.
Oh, your lease is running up. Gonna go up.
Oh my gosh. I'll get you a job here at the ranch. Oh no.
There you go.
Hey, Wizzy, is it the bunny ranch?
Lissai.
Well, one off-topic thing I can share for people who look forward to, if you are looking to buy land in ND here, that is an initiative to remove property tax. Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay, thank you, Garcimile. I appreciate you vouching for us. We can stay. I'd like to stay. But no, seriously, I think when I first met Vertec back in 2020, I wanted to move out to Florida. I wanted to just come straight here, but we had to make a detour up to the northern lands first.
Mm-hmm.
But
had to move near the workplace.
honestly, they can come here to Australia if they want. We need more people in the outskirts. I've always wanted to visit Australia, to be honest.
They have giant. Hell no.
Moving to Australia introduces the struggle that Australians always have, which is getting a good connection to MMOs.
Oh no. Wait, is that true? Lloyd, you're like
Nor.
90% of Aussie on the East Coast. Oh my gosh. Maybe that one gal can show you her dance moves, the Olympian. Oh no. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I want to learn her moves. I want to learn her moves, every one of them.
I forgot who I was talking to. Was it you, Lloyd? And I showed you
Yeah,
the kangaroo.
The
You
creeper,
taught
the
me.
creeper Tyrannosaurus. I want to get the laying down folding chair. I want to get both of those moves mastered.
Oh my god.
Might take a little bit of time. Those are pretty complicated moves.
Surely there are a ton of Guatemalan coders coming across the border. I have no idea. Oh my gosh. But oh yeah. It kind of was. I could see, you could just tell on the audience faces. They're like, what in the world
What is happening
on this stage right now? Is this real? Is this a meme? Did you literally come to the Olympics to meme on us? And then she was sad because she got 0 points. I'm like, oh girl.
The only geopolitical stuff that I know is what is happening in Vera right now, to be honest. My eyes have been stuck to Vera.
Oh yeah, I have my sights set on Vera, and honestly, one thing that we've been talking about a lot lately in the Discord is like, oh, what games are you guys playing? Like, oh, should we get into MMOs? And Vertek and I are looking at each other being like, honestly, by the time we finally get settled in an MMO, it's gonna be October. So we're just kind of playing like the First Descendant, or I actually just found out today that Marvel Rivals is actually launching in December. So whenever Ashes Alpha 2 is not up, we'll be probably playing that. But yeah. I don't know, I'm excited.
Keyboard killing me.
Oh yeah. I don't think the community perception of Alpha 2 Phase 1 is going to be good, and I'm here for the show. Because it is all stability and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be there weekend one. Actually, we had our 24-hour charity scheduled to start on the 25th, and then that announcement came out, and so we moved it to the 26th. That way we can do a full 24 hours, and we'll see how much of that we can shuffle in with, you know, testing and showing people around the testing area.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, Lark. Welcome in, by the way. Lark says the new pricing model is so much more value compared to even people that bought A1 packs. Those close to 70-80% of A1 price point. It's close to 70-80% off A1 price point. And I mean, yeah, but also you're getting a lot less stuff. I mean, with Alpha 1, I mean, to be fair, I honestly thought, I was hoping that Alpha 1 was going to last longer than 1 month. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I was hoping it would be longer than a month. But then, you know, and that's part of it is selfish because Vertek and I had to move, so I didn't really get to participate in Alpha 1 too much.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks into it, New World came out and pretty much died.
But I mean, that being said, what's a waiting game? To me, 6 months is nothing. If I didn't have a package to test it right now, I would probably wait for the persistent. Personally.
Yeah, I don't really.
12 years
I think the $120 value one is a complete waste of money. And if I hadn't purchased anything yet, I wouldn't purchase the 120 pack. I'd either wait for December or whenever it gets delayed to the May one.
Yeah, I would wait till May 1st. Do the $100 one. Your play experience is going to be so much better, and you'll probably have a much better perspective of Ashes of Creation in Phase 3.
Yeah. Where the heck? Why is this never on? I always turn on show mod icons, and they always turn off later.
They just don't. They just don't stay on. Womp womp.
Womp
There you go. Yeah, I was working on it. It's not on, so I have to go through and click stuff just to be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for testing. It's one of those like people often ask like, you don't sound as excited as like other people do, and I'm like, we've been waiting for a very long time. So I think our like super hype thing is just like when it's actually really super hype for us. And so with like testing like this, plus Vertek and I both have had experiences working with PlayStation testing games previously, and So when you're going into actually like testing like the monotonous stuff, like servers and like making sure the game's running and just base things, it's a little like that's cool. I'm excited to do it, but it's not like what I'm excited about the most, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's just one of those things. Having waited so long, it's right around the corner. So I'll get excited the day I can log into it and we can start streaming it. That'll be the day the excitement shows for sure.
Yeah. I've heard good things, but not yet played. I don't know what Black Myth Wukong is, Wizzy.
It's a new game that came out. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I don't know what it is, but I've heard good things about it.
Okay. I'm not a big tester, but I will give Ashes a go since we've waited years. That's fair, Grumpy. Chinese mythology, gotcha. Based on Journey the West. Okay. Interesting. Sounds kind of like, not to say it's the same, because this is obviously like Japanese history, but like the Ghost of Tsushima is very based historically. So it sounds kind of maybe like a similar vein.
Yeah, Wukong is a very popular mythology.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like a little mythology, but it's almost like a Dark Souls type atmosphere with playing. I was watching Tech Deck with it yesterday.
Okay.
Single player beat me up.
Cool. Yeah. Single player beat me up is kind of similar to Devil May Cry combat. Okay. Interesting.
Can I just say that I am now I'm a prisoner, dude. I'm playing World of Warcraft and I don't want to freaking play World of Warcraft. Lloyd laughs, but he's gonna play with me too, okay?
I am. I'm trying to catch up right now, actually.
Oh,
you know,
God, man. That was the only thing that bummed me out is just want to freaking play Ashes. I don't want to play WoW anymore. I feel like such an addict.
What's the syndrome where your captor makes you believe that you love them?
Oh, Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, that one.
Dude, I've had Stockholm Syndrome with WoW for freaking ever. Like, ever.
Yeah.
I thought it was called MMO Syndrome.
It's just WoW brain, man. Like, it's literally WoW brain, because when I'll go and I'll play like SWTOR or, you know, whatever other MMO, it just doesn't do it for me. And this is the thing I actually kind of fear for Ashes personally, because again, WoW and Ashes look, and they're probably going to play two completely like different. And that's always been the fear in the back of my mind, is like, man, like it's going to take me a while to really get the hang of Ashes and for it to feel good. But I hope, because of how hyped I am and excited I am, that it's actually a brand new game and it's not this 10-year-old, you know, like every other MMO, like Guild Wars 2, ESO, BDO, like they're just like 10-year-old games at this point. So I'm hoping that that'll be enough for my brain to
Travis
like
Studios, my dad.
Dump out.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
you were talking about like archetypes and stuff like that, and how I'm like relating it to like WoW brain. Even Jamie was like, "Oh man, I might have to think how archetypes work, because like I just feel like I'm a tank, but the Ashes fighter feels more like that from like watching the showcase and stuff like that." And he's like, "Yeah, I might just have to change from tank to fighter." So like, I think changing your mindset around like archetypes and classes and stuff like that is going to be a real thing for Ashes of Creation.
Oh yeah, and that's basically why I am like, I put out like the Bard changed my mind, and what it changed my mind about is I wasn't really considering trying out Bard whatsoever. But as soon as we saw Bard, I was like, actually, that might be up my alley in terms of playstyle. But I'm not gonna choose anything. My intent is to take Alpha 2, and unfortunately, I'm not seeing what I was hoping to see. Maybe it's in phase 3 at the earliest, but I really wanted to use Alpha 2 to test out Cleric primary and different secondaries, and Bard primary and different secondaries. But one thing I'm hoping to get some clarification on, I don't know if you guys were confused on this, but I actually don't know if they updated that on the new news post that they put out, but they were talking about the secondaries in phase 3, and how
the cleric and tank. Yep.
yeah, cleric and tank. But I'm confused. Does that mean that it's only cleric and tank secondary that you get to do, or are they only testing the primary primary cleric and primary tank with the different secondaries? Like,
we don't know. Steven never really went in to offer more detail or clarification. So we can only assume that it's either just the tank and cleric base archetype, that maybe all 8 of those secondary archetypes for just those 2 classes are done, or it's just the secondary tank and secondary cleric archetype that will be available for people to test.
I think that'll be what I
too.
pose to like the Q&A section for clarification from Steven.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I see that chat, is also kind of confused. And yeah, so cleric and tank are the only ones who can use augments, is what Mr. Jasleona is saying. And then Gruntag is saying all archetypes can use the cleric and tank secondaries, is how he understood it. So it's just like, I'm hoping it's that all of the primary archetypes can test cleric and tank as a secondary. That's what I'm hoping it means, but I would like a little bit more,
I mean, just logically thinking about it, I think that's the way it is, because imagine if the cleric and tank had every other archetype's augmentation. That doesn't make sense to me. I feel like every archetype is going to have the cleric and tank augmentation options available.
Yeah, think about it from a development standpoint. Like if you're going to just introduce something as a new feature, you're probably going to like dip your toes in, right? So you're going to take 2 specializations and offer it to kind of everybody, instead of taking 8 different specializations that are all going to have different types of features to them. But instead you're like, okay, let's define 2 separate archetypes, give them their 4 schools of augmentation, figure out exactly what those are. So we're only working on 8 schools of augmentation instead of 32.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I say, was really disappointed when they were clarifying this, and even because I just looked at the new packs and stuff with the Q&A and stuff. Why are they trying to say Alpha 2 Phase 3 will last a year? Like, why is that statement even there?
I think Steven said that Alpha 2 Phase 3 will be at least a year on one of the Reddit posts. It's literally like it's this biggest connect the dots that it has been in a while.
Steven was keyboard worrying for like all weekend. It was crazy to see how many comments Reddit that Steven was commenting on. He was doing major damage to people. And like when he was on Jamie's stream, he was just like, bro, I'm fighting in the trenches right now. And we're like, God damn it, I'm sorry, Steven.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like that's a statement you don't need to clarify or say at all. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, Phase 3 will last however long it needs to last. I just think, because again, when you put that 1 year in there, it's a game of telephone after that. They're not going to remember the nuances of like, oh, it's just a minimum of a year. Like, go and watch or go look at Force Gaming's video on Ashes. Go look on Asmongold's video on Ashes and look at the comment section. Dude, people are so misinformed with Ashes of Creation. It's so you know what? Insane.
The game of telephone doesn't matter if somebody doesn't even receive a call. They just hear that somebody had a call, and then they announced to everybody that there was a call, and they know all the deets. So it doesn't really even matter if you're going to certain people that go with like clickbait stuff or react stuff, and they don't really react to things. They just kind of read something and they're like, oh, well that's terrible. But if you're going to be if you're going to be thinking that a developer putting out one piece of information and stating it a specific way, like very specifically, if that's going to get bent, then anything is going to get bent. They could legitimately say that we're going to have a beta 2 after beta 1. Why would you say that? That's just going to be a game of telephone. You know what I mean? Like, it's anything can get bent out of shape. But stating it out,
it just makes me worried.
Oh yeah, and I totally get that. But I think it was an appropriate place to state it though.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to show that it's not just like a certain amount of money for no reason. Like, there is value to this, because the beta or the Alpha 2 Phase 3 prior to beta is going to last at least a year. there is value to these keys. It's going to be at least a year of the phase 3 of Alpha 2. So I think it was an appropriate place to state it.
I mean, Vladis, you yourself have said that you expected Alpha 2 to last at least 2 to 3 years, if not longer. So he's at least giving a minimum time, like at least a year, you know?
Like he's not saying it's gonna release 2027. That he's just give it time.
I do get your point though. Like that is a valid thing, but that's also where I think as long as us as content creators, as we like understand what is being said, that's where we work and are patiently with the community and our comment section, as it can be crazy sometimes. But you know, and say, hey, like this is where this information came from. This is direct from Steven, or here's the wiki with all of the breakdowns. Here's the news post with all of the breakdowns. You know. I do understand your worries, because people are worried about the persistence of alpha, or like a little frustrated by it. Maybe they expected it to be persistent right off the bat, you know,
or they felt like it wasn't clarified what persistent meant, and you know, they had all these different issues with like how that came across. I think that's probably where Intrepid could improve upon. Like, hey, this is a pre-recorded statement of what is planned, the goal, what it means. Reread that, edit that, do it again, and then push it out. Like, I feel like in the future they may be able to do that to better communicate to the public, because we reach a very small outreach of people, right? Like the Ashes of Creation content creators reach a very, very small outreach, but the general public only see like the Lazy Peon, the Force game, the Asmon Gold. So they get a snippet of that because those content creators will watch a portion and not know the full context, and they'll react to that.
But you know what though?
So,
oh, sorry, go ahead, finish.
I was just gonna say, and so I think it's on Intrepid to be very, very clear in their official statement, and I would like to be that bridge for them. But it's very hard because we don't have that outreach.
Yeah, but you know what also is something to be said about misinterpretations and telephone and all that is some people who are following, like hanging on every word of some content creators that don't really put out accurate information, as soon as it's proven wrong, they're going to start doubting that content creator. They really are. And if they don't start doubting them, it's because they are in their own feels about they've already invested so much time and attention that this person can't be wrong. And they're just going to down the line feel even more betrayed when they start to be proven wrong again and again and again, because they spread misinformation. So and if a content creator wants to put out misinformation and overreact and say silly stuff, I feel for them. I do. Like, I feel for the viewers. I mean, like the people who are watching it, like, you're gonna feel like they took advantage of you, or that they were just trying to, you know, clickbait you into stuff after a while.
This is also why, and I'm gonna be honest, because I was one of those people, Lazy Peon got a bunch of people interested in Ashes, and I feel like he does work to try and understand everything that's happening when he's doing his summary videos. And I mean, even back during the Kickstarter, which is how I came across like the Ashes of Creation game at all, was he was covering games that were coming out soon in the next 4 years at that time, or like next 5 years. And he explained it really well. He shared all the links for everything, and I was like, oh wow. And as soon as I saw Ashes like footage that they had way back in 2017, I was in love. I was like, ooh, that's pretty. I want to play that game. That sounds so interesting. And
he hooked a lot of us.
Yeah, exactly. And time and again, I love it because people are like, oh yeah, Lazy Peon introduced me. And I was like, oh yeah, which wave? You're like wave 4 now. But yeah, see, didn't even have a PC at that game. Bought it one literally for this game. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the other thing is, I just want to talk about for content creator things real quick. I feel like we keep ourselves here in the Ashes of Creation space as content creators, as people that have like this kind of like fellowship with each other. Like we keep each other accurate. We keep each other, you know, like if I'm confused about something, you guys help me. Grim, thank you.
Grim, thank you so
Resub
much.
for
Cheers
6
to you for
months.
6 months at that.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Cheers.
you. Thanks for keeping your seat warm at the tavern.
Happy you're on the bar stool. Yeah, it's well worn by now, and it's welcomed. But yeah, I just, you know, I think there is something to be said with the Twitch with the Ashes of Creation content creator community. I mean, Vertec and I are working to restoke the fires of the CCX area that we have within our Discord, if you will, and you know, invite that collaboration. But you know, we've worked together and taught each other things. Like, you guys teach me all the time, like, new stuff. Like, when somebody else has a really nice overlay, it makes me want to try and get a better overlay. Or when somebody is doing really well on YouTube, I want to know what like their tricks are, and they're welcoming of the idea of teaching each other, you know. And I really like that.
The community is really tight knit and awesome, and I'm just happy to be here, honestly, because you guys are all great people.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
And-
super
Community,
happy.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, yeah.
Because we are being like, our tight knit group of content creators is being held up by our tight knit group of a community that is also trying to hold us up. So I mean, like, it's a team effort of a very, very small group, but we appreciate every one of you.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, as a whole, I think we've said this like time and again, like, as a whole, the Ashes community really is great. Like, between just Intrepid starting at the core, right? Intrepid, the content creators, like people who are doing all the fan art, anybody who's just interested in participating in conversations. As a whole, it's really a great community. It seriously is. But
I'm back. Sorry, my computer completely locked up on me.
Oh no, I
Oh
was
my gosh.
wondering. It brought you straight up to the live stream queue, and I was like, oh no, what happened? I just thought you misclicked.
we have
No.
said
We're just
so
having
many
wholesome
important things, and we can't
Aw.
repeat any of it.
We were talking about how wonderful you are.
The viewers
Yep.
put us under NDA so much that we had to even delete the chat. So
Oh man. Yeah, sorry.
you'll just never know again. Sorry.
Get wrecked.
But no, I honestly thank you, Lloyd, and thank you, Vladis, for joining us on these tavern talks. It's really nice to have other people come in and talk with us too in chat. And honestly, like, from day one, we were community focused. We've loved your passionate discussions throughout the years for Ashes. Whether or not we agreed with you is a whole other story. And I think that's the important part, because not many people know this. And I think we scared the crap out of Nuclear Tango at one time. Because I was like, oh, you disagree with us? Ooh, come in the chat. Come in the chat.
Yeah.
Come talk to us.
You
And he's like,
disagree?
oh
Get
God.
in here. Get in here now.
But no, like, it's really important to at least me, and I think us together, Vertec, I think you'd agree, to hear different viewpoints from our own. Like, tell me what you think and why you think it, because
I'll be right
otherwise I'm not gonna know, you know.
I mean, I'll be
Not
honest.
gonna-
Those are some of the more exciting conversations, really. I disagree
really?
with what
Yeah.
we're talking
Love
about, says
having
Grumpy
those.
Guy.
Oh yeah, you guys were fun with the with your stuff too.
That
It was
was-
a blast.
That
Yeah.
changed from like, hey, hop on in here and say hi real quick, just so I can hear what you're saying. To were we there for like 2-3 hours, something crazy like that?
My video is 3 hours, and it's currently my best performing video of us just arguing about PvP, PvX, and PvP. So yeah, it was a blast, and it was just like, hey, do you want to come on? And you're like, yeah, sure. And then we just talk for 3 hours
Just went for it.
Yeah.
on
I
a
love it.
7-minute video, by the way, from Nice.
Yep.
It's-
Nice started
It really
it all.
did take forever to get through that 7-minute video too.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Hmm.
good times though.
Absolutely.
Many more to come.
Absolutely. But Vertec, if you want, I can do our wind down spiel.
Yeah, it is just about that time, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, it's a nice natural lull to the conversation, I think. But hey, if you guys liked this, this is our Tuesday Tavern Talks. It's a little bit less, I guess a lot less scripted and scheduled out than our
very less scripted.
Saturday podcast with a guest, which by the way, this Saturday we have Voxia as our guest, Voxia. And very excited to meet them. They're going to be this cute little pudding VTuber. And so they requested we put them on a plate. Like
Nice.
this little pudding on a plate on our counter.
Putting on a plate on the counter. I love it.
That's amazing.
I love it. It's adorable. Yeah, and then for those that don't know, are we gonna do a tavern talk next week? Because we're leaving on Thursday.
We could do a tavern talk. There will not, however, be on the 31st. There will not be an actual Saturday stream. We could do the Tuesday because we're not leaving till Thursday.
That's fair. Okay.
So we could do Monday,
So-
Tuesday.
We will be here Saturday for our podcast, Monday for Vertex Mead Quest, and then Tuesday for our next Tavern Talk, which is going to be episode 30 of our Tavern Talk.
You will not
actually
hear from us on the 31st, the 2nd, or the 3rd.
Yeah, we are going to PAX West. So very excited for that. If anybody else is going to PAX West out there in the great wide wonder beyond, let us know. We'd love to meet up and hang out. I know there's a couple of other people from the community that are going, and this is our first time going, and I'm just super stoked to check it out. But aside from that, we have an RP summit coming up in September. And Lloyd, you're actually a part of that.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And so we're going to be talking about like role play in Ashes of Creation. Lloyd and I have both never role played in a video game before, so we're the only two out of everybody joining us who has never role played in a video game. So very excited to hear conversations we have around that. And then of course in October we're doing our charity stream, our 24-hour charity stream, October 26th to the 27th. We were already planning on doing it because we always do it like the last weekend in October before they do their charity stream. So that way we can give them whatever money we raise, either directly through our fundraiser, or if you guys donate directly to us, we'll donate it to them to mess with their D&D game or Pathfinder game. It's very fun to do that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But if all of that sounds awesome, and if you would like to support us, you can always subscribe to us on Twitch, join the memberships on YouTube, and we actually just opened up a Patreon if that is your cup of tea or mead. If it's your cup of mead, we have that too. But feel free to check it out if you'd like. We just want to give you options if you want to monetarily support us, but the biggest way to support us is being here in chat and talking with us and sharing our streams and watching our videos. And Vertec, I'll let you do your typical outro thingies.
Yeah. Well, first off, Vladis, Lloyd, would either of you like to plug anything you have coming up, a video you're planning, an event, something you're looking to do, just your channel in general? Drop it in there.
Oh boy. Thanks for reminding me that I'm 2 videos past my deadline.
Oh, you're
Karthik.
welcome.
I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
So, I do have videos coming out. Everything at Lude Lloyd, LLEWD Lloyd, and I guess just check me out. I'll have stuff pumping out. So, thank you for having me here on Tavern Talks. I really enjoy these talks. It's really fun, you guys.
I love this, getting folks
Agreed.
in here. Vladis, do you have anything coming up? Anything you'd like to share with peoples? Nope, I think we may have lost Vladis again.
Oh no.
Maybe he's
His
being a
Computer and
dad.
everything else is being... Yeah. I was going to say, you might have the dad thing going on too.
And for
So-
those of you watching later on YouTube, I will have their YouTube linked in the description.
I'm back. Sorry, my baby was crying.
Welcome back.
We had a feeling it was a baby related thing.
Figured as a papa thing.
Yeah.
Do your shouts out.
Oh yeah, you guys know me, Vladis Gaming, everywhere.
Actually, to that point, somebody goes, meet Vladis, who hasn't met Vladis yet. That was a comment on your Meet the Bard.
Aw. Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, as Chibi was saying, we as the Golden Feather Tavern, we are absolutely horrendous with trying to promote our own ways of receiving funding.
Yeah,
but we
we're really bad at
realized
it.
when we dumped a pile of money on the advertisement contest that we did, we got some really cool responses from that and some really cool videos that people made.
Yeah.
So we would really love to do stuff like that more often. We try to push as much as possible back out to the community as we can. And so if you would like to see more content like that, just nifty stuff that we get people working together doing things, please just drop us something somewhere. Patreon is the super easiest. Also helps the most dollar by dollar, I think. But
Yeah.
One of these days we'll get better at actually plugging ourselves on a continual basis. Until then, I think we're done beating you over the head with it tonight. But that being said, while I do our normal outro thing, if anybody wishes to guide the raid, because we always have to raid somebody, please feel free to do so. As far as people talking ashes, we do have Jimmy Cass. We also have Theory Forge, or at least Phantom X from Theory Forge. Chatting some stuff. We have Droog Plays, who is what looks like going over a Stakeno video and reacting to that.
Okay, we can do Jamie, sure. Yeah, we can do Jamie.
Okay. Let's see. But thank you everybody for joining us. There you go. Thank you for joining us in chat, Lloyd and Vladis. Thank you everybody for hanging out in chat and keeping us company and adding questions and commentary. It is all appreciated. You only get to spend your time once. Once that time is spent, it is gone, and you spent it here, so it was well worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, and nice meeting you too, Scold. Thank you, by the way. I don't know, Vertek, if you saw, but Scold found us through Loreforge's video.
Ooh, nice. Oh, Loreforge's video. Yay.
Yeah.
We love us some Loreforge. We've known those guys for a minute.
Welcome to our tavern.
yeah. Welcome to the other tavern. All right,
but,
well, everybody...
I got the raid going now.
Okay, well, everybody, you take care, and until we see you next time, have fun, enjoy the community, be supportive, love everybody, except those people.
Love you guys.
Take care. Bye.